Well, welcome back to another episode of Whitebeard's Kitchen. So what I'm doing is kind of a Tex Mex minced beef dish. I'm not going to be adding beans into mine. I would like to, but folks here again don't like what do you call it, black beans or kidney beans. So I'm going to substitute, and I would have been adding in anyway some peppers. Anyway, on with the show. What I have in here is probably about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. So we'll just let that heat up. I don't want it, coming to a massive big roaring heat with olive oil. As you know, the carcinogenics in it. So I'll let that heat up. And in we go. Just good old shop bought mince. It's 800 grams and the kind of fat content is 18%. So, and that's what I want. A bit of fat, and what do we know? Fat means flavour. So what I'm going to do is just break this up, put it to kind of about medium low. Just break this up ever so slightly, and I want to get a wee bit of a sear on one side of the beef, so mash it down a bit, break it up. That will probably take maybe 2-3 minutes, maybe 4. Okay, so I cranked the heat up a little bit just while I was away, waiting for this. So I've got the meat browned. As you can see, there's quite a lot of fat, which is what I wanted. I should add some flavour to it. So I did crank it up to high, just to boil some of that fat off, render the fat off. So I've now have it on a medium. So first thing going in, slight difference with mine. Everybody adds in what they like. I mean, I am not Mexican, so I just have a little, it's like half a large carrot or medium-sized carrot. I just have it finely chopped, diced, whatever. I have a medium onion just going in now as well. Okay, so, and I like my garlic, as you know from some of the recipes I've done, so I have about 5 good sized garlic cloves there going in also. There we are, and that is beginning to brown up, and it has browned up very nicely. So we're going to turn this down to medium low. Just give this a stir for a short while, for maybe about 2 to 3 minutes. Make sure that the onions soften down a bit, as does as you can see, the tiny pieces of carrot. Okay. So that's the carrots and onions softened, and quite a lot of now the fat, thank goodness, has rendered down, and that's in flavour into the meat. Okay, so slight twist, and it'll probably cause, what do you call it, maybe World War III, and I don't know what the politics between Mexico and Argentina are like, but here we are. I'm putting in, this is for me, my twist is roughly about, I'm going to say 100 mils of Argentinian Malbec. So turn the heat up. There's another wee drizzle. Make sure it's 100 mils. My ball in this, obviously. So turn the heat up. Get that alcohol burned off. For me, it'll just add a little bit of depth. So there we are. Maybe I've caused a political storm somewhere. Here I have roughly 3 small chillies, red chillies chopped, and I probably have about a quarter of a green pepper and a quarter of a yellow pepper and a quarter of red pepper going in. Give that a bit of a mix round. Now we'll turn it down to medium because the alcohol has burned off. Again, I am just using store-bought Chipotle paste here from a wonderful place called Tesco. It's this big supermarket chain in the United Kingdom and Ireland. So I can tell you now, it will not be like the Chipotle that we will buy in, or will get in Mexico, that is for sure. So there's probably about 3 teaspoons in, and hold on, there's more. That's that jar finished. I could order different Mexican chilies online, but they really are expensive to order online. So there, 5. That's 6 heaped teaspoons of Chipotle paste in, chili paste. I'll taste this later, obviously, and if I think it needs more, I'll add more in. So give that a mix round. So now what I have going in, I have it's basically stock cubes. I put 4 stock cubes in into roughly about 600 mils of water. I'm not adding any salt because people will know stock cubes, if you're using them, can be quite salty. And I actually just had a slight taste of that, and it is very salty, so I doubt I'll be adding salt to this. What I'm now going to add in, though, again I'm going to eyeball this, black pepper. I'm going to say it's about half a teaspoon just of black pepper going in. 2 heaped tablespoons, near enough, of oregano going in. Give that a good stir around. Keep this to medium heat. I know soy sauce is quite popular in Mexican cuisine, but because of the salt I'm not going to use light soy sauce. So I'm going to say roughly about a tablespoon of dark soy sauces going in. So I'm going to let that do on kind of a medium heat, and let that cook down, the sauce, break up bits of meat as I go along. So just had a taste of this, guys, and to be honest, it is quite salty with the stock cubes, but even that chili paste, the Chipotle chili paste, did have a salty taste to it. So I'm going to give it a bit of a kick. I'm adding in, as you can see here, kind of a level teaspoon of ordinary chili powder. I'm going to go back to the Chipotle chili paste that I put in, and I've already said how many teaspoons, so there's another heaped one. That's another one. That's another 2. That's 2. Just cranked it up a wee bit in terms of heat. We'll see what happens. I'll be back. What I did forget, yes, was bloody tomatoes. Okay, so I'm just after throwing in there. These are chopped tomatoes, so we'll have to cook a little bit longer. Anyway, that's what you do, what do you call it, when it's Friday evening and you're kind of wanting to do things in a rush. So the moral of that story is, fucking don't rush. So, what do you call it? So there we are. So that will add obviously a bit of acidity, thank God, because as I said it was salty. For good measure, I'm going to put in roughly, let me see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 baby plum tomatoes in. So it'll take a little bit longer. Anyway, not to worry. Hey ho. This is concentrated tomatoes that we had in our garden that my darling wife grew. It is very concentrated, so I'm putting in 3 cubes, which is roughly probably the equivalent of, near enough, 3 tablespoons of tomato paste, tomato puree, whatever you wish to call it. I have tomato puree here, but when my darling wife has actually spent the time reducing those wonderful tomatoes down and then putting them into ice cubes for his lordship here, then, so here we are. So I'm going to say this will probably be, I could have diced it out, but it's going to be at least another 20 minutes. Right, okay, so that is thickening up nicely. It's a wee bit on the acidic side since I put the tomatoes in, so I'm just adding, and that's not to make it sweet, just to take some of the acidity off, just a teaspoon of sugar. Hopefully it'll thicken up a little bit more, and then I have the last stage of it to do. So only 2 of us for dinner at the minute. So for those guys that aren't home, they're out working. Some of them allegedly, they're probably on the beer. One of them at least. We'll leave them some. Okay guys, so here we are. This is almost ready. Last but not least, I have a pile of good old, I don't have mozzarella or anything like that, so good old Irish cheddar, mature cheddar cheese going in. So on the top. Make sure I cover as much as possible. Just try and cover that. There we are. All that over. Any crumbs, I'll probably eat them when I'm off camera, as usual. Just turn it off there for a second or two. So I'm going to have some rice for this as well. So turn it up. Going to put some tin foil just over it. Hopefully the cheese will melt. Have to make sure, hopefully it doesn't stick either at the bottom. There were a few wee bits, nice and yardy bits as I would call them, not burnt, but holy God, this cast iron pan is really absolutely boiling. I might have been better doing this actually under the grill, but I'll give it a minute or two, see how it goes. My little wifey is just taking vegetables. I have a couple of tortilla wraps, just heat it nicely, try and make a burrito without making a mess of it. Well, there we are folks. Looks absolutely wonderful. I can't wait to get my face into this with some rice, and obviously I'll try and make myself a burrito. I'm not usually very good at wrapping these, so most of it ends up around me. But anyway, I'll let you know what it tastes like. This is my little dish for me this evening. So what I'm going to do is, I am going to have a little taste of this. I'm not going to have the bite of the burrito. I mean, I don't want to embarrass myself. So I'll have a bite out of the bowl and let you know what this little dish is like. So I'm going to take a spoon of the rice and a spoon of the kind of Tex Mex mixture or food or recipe or whatever. That is quite nice, I do have to say. Not overly powering spice, but you kind of feel it starting once you take a mouthful. For me, I'd probably add a tablespoon of chilli, but I'm cooking for everybody. So anyway, do try this. I'm going to say bye for now. Look after your loved ones, family, friends. Rock on, and we'll see you the next time.